Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope we are well. Today is an overdue Q&A on bits and bobs. I like doing a Q&A because I can talk about lots of different things in a short space of time. And today's Q&A, I actually tried something a bit different, which was using Instagram's question thingy where you put on your story and people replied. So that is how I got the questions this time. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Hello. I do mostly fashion, lifestyle and real chats on this channel. So if you're up for a bit of that, then come on, join the party. Got my coffee. Oh my gosh, I needed. And I've got all my questions. I actually screenshotted the best ones, I feel, or me and Josie did, because there were hundreds, which is great, but we were like, shit now. Okay, so I'm just gonna dive straight in there because I don't want to be sitting here all day doing introductions. Let's do this. Okay, what has been your biggest lesson you have learned this year? This year has been an emotional roller coaster for me. I'm not gonna lie, this past year, I've learned a lot about myself. I feel like the biggest lesson that I've learned this year is it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay if you are not doing well and you needed a bit of time for yourself. Also, it's okay if you don't want to play the game, if you don't want to play the race of life, like trying to be the best at everything, or you don't want to be a certain type of person. I think I've just learned that being yourself a bit more and not feeling pressured into being a person that you're not. And likewise, like if you're not feeling okay and you're not feeling up to standard, I guess that's also okay. You just gotta sort your shit out. A lot of time to think this year. A lot of thinking has been had. You spoke about coming off contraception. Could you talk about your experience? Okay, so I could make an entire video talking about contraception and my beef with it. So I'll try and summarise it. So I came off contraception September because I felt really depressed. I went through the summer. I mean, there was a lot of shit going on, but I felt like a lot of my sadness felt like it was like clockwork. Like it was like every 2 weeks I would just feel really, really shit for a week or two. And there was no real like reason for it. It was just I could not feel happy. Like it was very hard to feel happy and positive. So I was like talking to people about it and they said it could be a contraceptive. Went to the doctors about it. And I said, look, I don't feel, I told her what I'd been going through. She said, it definitely sounds like it could be a side effect of your contraceptive pill. Do you want to come off it? And I was very dubious about it because my contraceptive pill was also helping me control my migraines. So I thought, fuck, if I come off the pill, I'm gonna get migraines all the time, or I'm not gonna know when I'm gonna get them, and it's gonna be a nightmare. Luckily, touch wood, since coming off the pill, I haven't actually had one, and it's been since, well, the end of September. And normally what would happen was if I say missed a pill or I was late taking a pill, I could guarantee a few days later I would get a migraine of some sort, of big one, little one, whatever. But it'd always be if I fucked up my pill taking, like, routine, it would fucking happen. Coming off the pill, my mood has been better. Like it has been more consistent in the terms that I've been feeling like a lot happier. I haven't been feeling down. I have mood swings, which I think like you do when you're kind of PMSing and stuff. Like if it's gonna be a few days before my period or something, I know, because I'm fucking like all over the place. That was another reason why I went on the pill, was because I had some really terrible mood swings at one point and I had to keep, like, I wanted to be more on one level, whereas actually the level that I was at was more low, whereas I feel good, but sometimes I'm like, I actually prefer that because at least I feel happy most of the time. Also, I had some weird like pregnancy symptoms as well. Like I felt sick every day for about a week. My boobs hurt so much. I was feeling really tired. I took some pregnancy tests, I wasn't pregnant. And then like a week later I got my period. So yeah, I've had some weird shit happen because I've been on the pill for years and I just come off it, and your body's, I mean, I think I'm still adjusting. At the moment I'm having periods, I've had periods, but they've only lasted like 3 days. But I feel like I could do a whole video talking about coming off the pill and my opinion on contraception, because I actually, thinking about it and what I've been through and what I know other women have been through and how it affects them, I'm actually like, this is fucked up. How we are women are expected to put loads of hormones into our bodies, or we have to put fucking copper coils or like insert things into our arms and get bloody injections. I'm like, come on, it's 2018. Why is it still our responsibility to make sure that we don't get pregnant? And if you're in a relationship, doctors can be judgmental, like, it's a bit irresponsible not to be on contraception. Sorry, it's just like this. It's just this thing that I've just realised recently that I'm just like, nah, I'm not having this. This is shit. It's bullshit. Do you track your calories? No, not really. I have an idea of how many calories I should be consuming in a day, but generally I don't track my calories because I like just make sure that the food that I'm eating is fresh, it's predominantly like prepared and made by myself. I know what's going in it. You know, you can track your calories, get throughout the day, you can sort of look at things and go, is that really worth it? But generally I don't add them up anymore. I used to be so obsessed with my Fitness Pal and get really upset and wound up by it. I was not in a good, healthy weight loss state then, but right now, as long as I know that I'm eating good things, then that's fine. I only really track my calories if I'm eating out and I have to grab like a sandwich or a salad. Like I look then just to see, is this salad or is this sandwich worthy of the calories that is written on the front? Can I find something better? Snog, marry, avoid. Dumbledore, Sirius Black and Snape. I'm really sorry about this. I'm gonna avoid Dumbledore because I just don't fancy him at all. Like, he's lovely, but I wouldn't want to go near him with my face. I'm gonna go Snog, Snape, because I find him sexy and I have like this weird thing for Snape nowadays. But I'm gonna marry Sirius Black because I feel like he's just a bit more... I feel like Snape would have some issues. Sirius Black seems a bit more down to earth, I feel. How do you say true to you? I've watched you for years and I've always adored who you are. Essentially, my core me, I've just always been aware of and always been like a fan of, I guess, and had like beliefs in terms of like being yourself and being an individual. I feel like it is easy to be influenced by other people in terms of what you think you should be doing and who you think you should be. And at times I've been troubled by this, I guess, especially in what I do. Like, oh, if I looked more like this, or if I did this, that it'd be more appealing, like on the kind of online world. But I've always had like a sense of myself and honesty and kind of like a not give a fuckery sort of. I feel as I'm getting older, and also not giving a shit about people and what they think. I feel like I am moulding back into a more truer, happier, more content, calmer version of myself. At the end of the day, the only person that you should be trying to impress is yourself, because you have to live with yourself. And I don't honestly see why people are ashamed of being themselves, or feel like they need to censor themselves, they can't wear certain things that they like because they're worried what other people will think. Like, it just makes, I just can't get my head around it. I can't understand it. I think that people should just enjoy themselves. And sounds so corny, but it's just the way it is. Just like, honestly, you the only person you're going to be letting down if you're not true to yourself is yourself. What is your favourite thing about living with Josie? I love always having someone to talk to. I love it when we are silly together. Always having someone just about to be like, hey mate, do you wanna do this? I don't know, I just loving her. I love having her in the house and about. She's at work though. Yeah. Has your new relationship taught you anything? Do you think you've changed at all? It's taught me a lot. Oh my god. It's taught me firstly that there are nice people out there. I'm gonna sound really corny when I say this, and I do apologise for advance. So if you wanna grab a bucket that you might want to puke into, honestly, I understand, because I'm not really the soppiest person, really. Well, I am, but I hide it. It's kind of taught me how to love. Like, I didn't know that you could feel this way about someone. And I always felt in my previous relationships that I was always in the wrong, that I'd always done something wrong, that I'd always pissed them off. I always felt like I was stepping on eggshells around people, and always felt the need to apologise and say sorry all the time. And that kind of attitude has come across in this relationship, because I've always felt, I'm so used to that is just what I'm used to. Just because he might be quiet or look at me a certain way, it's not my fault. Whereas I was so used to feeling like it was, because it probably was, because I breathed, or like it's just there. And it's just taught me that I need to like how to sort of relax and chill out. And I feel like I've honestly like going from being with quite negative people to being with someone really positive. It definitely shows, looking back at like how kind of mentally scarred I guess I have been. Did your last relationship leave any mental scarring for you in your new relationship? If so, how do you and I could cut it off. We do talk about like our pasts and stuff, and I do talk about experiences that I've had. I feel like when someone leaves you out of the blue and there's no real indication at first as to why, that can make you feel so insecure and like worried that it's going to happen again. Because obviously if someone can just get up one day and go, I'm leaving, you feel like it could happen at any point. So that was like a worry of mine, I guess. And I know, like, I'm so happy, and I'm not always being reassured, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm constantly worrying and I'm always nagging. Have you found that decorating has helped you with your mental health? Yes. I feel like, I mean, look, my dressing room looks different. I feel like I just needed a little refresh of my house, and just because I feel this year has been a year of change for me, like a lot of change, and I'm kind of really honing in on things that I like, that makes me, that I want to be more of. And also with like my house, which is a huge representation of who I am. I think houses can hold history, and I just wanted to kind of change things up a bit, just for a little bit of a refresh, and it definitely has worked. How do you feel about fast fashion and throwaway culture of clothes? Hear me out on this one, because this is a new thing for me. So I'm still learning and I'm still developing as a person certain worldly topics. So I have been noticing more and more recently in like hauls that I've been putting up, people commenting saying, you know, this is fast fashion, this is really bad, blah 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 blah. And I must admit, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, oh, shut the fuck up, like, leave me alone. Got all angry because someone had called me out and everyone was liking the comments, and I felt like I was being picked on. And I do feel to some extent, because this is a hot topic, that it did turn into a little bit of a witch hunt, because a lot of other YouTubers were getting like abused and told off and like slagged off, and I thought that's not the way to go about it. I received some comments of people, however, that were actually very factual, educational, very encouraging, which then made me think, actually, yeah, okay, I'll sort of think about this a little bit more. I think that is the best way to go about things. Like, don't fucking come at someone with a pitchfork and say that you're a bad person. It's best to be nice and sort of educating them and encouraging them, because if someone comes up to you and gives you like a mouthful in the street, you're just gonna tell them to fuck off, aren't you? You're not gonna listen to them. But anyway, what do I think about it? I'm gonna be completely honest about it. If I didn't do YouTube and I didn't see myself as like a fashion person whose purpose, I guess, is to inspire, is to you know, give tips on where to shop, what to buy, what to wear, etc., I wouldn't feel the pressure as much to shop as much. But because my content essentially relies on me buying new things to show you guys, so you can buy the new things, on like what to wear, how to dress yourself, how to dress this kind of body shape, what to wear for this, what to wear for that, like what's out at ASOS at the moment that's really cool, I probably wouldn't shop as much. And I must admit, from a personal point of view, it is a sigh of relief that people are starting to be more aware of the implications of shopping so much and the wastage, because it was something that I did actually think about in my own mind, like, this is a bit too much. Like, I would often be very overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that I owned, not just through stuff that I've bought, but mostly through things that I've been sent. And it was very overwhelming, and I thought, like, I don't need all this stuff. And I was always in this weird predicament where I was like, I need to do my job, but I also don't want to have all this stuff. And it is kind of a relief now that I don't feel the pressure to have to keep up, if that makes any sense. So I am well into the idea of recycling old outfits and styling up things that I already have, and being a little bit more conscious of like where I'm shopping, how much I'm shopping, and just being a bit more conscious of when I'm shopping. Do I need this? No, I don't. Like, I enjoy shopping, don't get me wrong, and I get excited over clothes because that's just who I am. But I feel like it's a little bit of both, really. Like, yes, be able to show you on some really cool things, but also, like, I also want to stress that you don't have to buy everything that someone is showing you online. And I do feel with fast fashion, the way forward is if we naturally just shop less, so there is less wastage, and there's less pressure to have to feel like you need these items, because that's what gets me, is the wastage, things just being thrown out and not used anymore. I just feel like we need to be a bit more conscious, I guess, of what we're shopping for, why we're shopping for it. Are there other ways, other things that we could buy instead of? Could we source things more like economically? The way I sort of think about it though, and there are going to be people here that are new to it as well, like myself. There's going to be people that have been into it for a long time. What we need to remember though is when it comes to making life decisions that is going to benefit the environment or like the world, we can only do so much each, and that's not me flunking out and using it as an excuse, but we can't be superheroes overnight. People need time to make changes, and I'm personally going to be more conscious about what I'm buying, why I'm buying it, just be a bit more mindful. I already am like getting all about packaging, about wasting plastic, like, and I'm doing my own things in my personal time and at home to kind of make myself feel better about that, and like work, like help in other ways. So yeah, we can only do certain things like each, like we can't all be perfect in every fucking walk of life. How do you feel about subscribers approaching you in public? Yay or nay? I'm fine with it. Like, honestly, come up to me, have a chat. Don't take my picture though in secret, or like be weird and sneaky. Just come and say hi. Like, I am the most normal person ever, and I will talk to you and we will have a hug and we'll have a chat. Like, I don't even like to see people as like subscribers or fans because I find that really weird. Like, if you come up to me and say, hi, watch your videos, awesome, let's have a little chin wag, because we're all the same at the end of the day. I'm not any different from you lot, so let's have a chat. How has your style developed over the years? It's kind of like done little meanders, I guess, but it's always sort of been slightly alternative. It's always been kind of edgy and a bit like out there. I feel like recently it's kind of maturing a little bit more refined, a little bit more minimal, a little bit less colour. But I'm fine with that. That's who I'm starting to feel and develop I am as a person. What do you plan for your career in the future? I don't fucking know. The question scares me. I get scared and anxious about it every single day. But if I have to answer, probably in the strain of either teaching, filmmaking, or like production, I guess, or to throw a curveball in there, a wild card, I'd love to do something outdoorsy. Like, I was even contemplating like signing up for a college around here, which is for outdoors and animal stuff. I'd love to do that. Any advice about changing up your style but on a budget? Okay, cool. I feel like, you know what you need to invest in staple pieces which are going to do the talking for you. So I would try and get a decent jacket, a decent pair of shoes, and a decent, maybe like a pair of jeans, and then you work around that. So yeah, I was saying to my sister, who wanted a little bit of, not of a style change, but a little bit of like, she wanted some staple items that would carry her through. Like, literally buy a few key pieces that are a good investment, not like the cheapest thing. I know if you're on a budget, but I feel like if you buy something that does all the talking for you, or you buy something that's so statement in itself, like, it's easy to kind of work around that. But they have to be, like, I'd say good quality and long lasting. I suffer with depression and your motivation is inspiring. What/who motivates you the most? Mrs. Hinch, she's great for housework. I suffer with feeling low and not having motivation to do things. And then as a result of that, I get anxious that I haven't done enough, and I start to doubt myself, and it's a horrible, horrible cycle. But I honestly, the thing that gets me going is getting up, going for a workout, walking Lola, and that honestly, those two things, they set me up for the day, and I feel productive as hell. Even if I don't get anything done, somehow, just because I've done those two things in the morning and I've made my bed or whatever, I don't feel bad about it. So I feel like getting into a routine and forcing yourself to do something, get off your ass, something, basically making yourself achieve something at the beginning of your day, is great for motivation and just getting out of a funk. And so many mornings, like even this morning, I tried to talk myself out of going to boot camp at 6:30 a.m. and I managed to overcome that, and I went, and I was so glad, and I was getting in my car when I'd finished, and I was like, this feeling of elation and feeling great and motivated and happy is so worth it. Favourite brand of chocolate? Mine is Galaxy. I gotta say mine's Galaxy too. Or I like a crunchy. Or if I'm in America, I'll go for a Heath. What made you pick a Dachshund of all breeds of dog? Lola is adorable. Well, I'll tell you a little story about that. When I was working in a shoe shop, a lady walked in with a tiny Dachshund puppy, and I'd never really seen a sausage dog properly before. And she was like trying on shoes and was like, sorry, do you mind if you hold my dog? So I was holding this puppy Dachshund, and you know, like the classic love at first sight? That was like this thing. I was like, I am falling in love with this dog. I've imprinted on it like Jacob did on Bella Swan's child. Like I felt, from then on, I was like, I need a sausage dog, because I just fell in love with this dog. What is your biggest filming or editing tip? Honestly, my little hack for editing quickly is I edit by looking at the waveform, like so the audio rather than the picture, because I can see when I'm talking and when there's gaps, and I just cut to that. Filming, storyboarding, not necessarily I have to write it down, but storyboarding and planning it out in your head, because that'll make the edit so much quicker if you know like what it's gonna look like. Okay, and lastly, let's end on a high. Songs that help you feel like a badass babe. Dua Lipa, New Rules, but the Initial Talk remix version. Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf. Or If I Was a Stripper playlist. Basically anything on my If I Was a Stripper playlist makes me feel badass. I'll also link that down below in Spotify. Woo! So yeah, that was it, everyone. If there's any questions that I answered where you feel like this would make a great video on its own talking about the topic, then please let me know, because I would love to elaborate, because I am starting to do a weekly episode chat, probably uploaded on a Sunday, of topics. So other than like your usual like Q&A, I will be doing like a Sunday chat with you. So this week, either this week or next week, depending on when I actually manage to film it, I'm going to be talking about adult friendships. So you get the gist. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and comment. The engagement really helps me. I've been doing YouTube homework, and I've been told that if you like and comment and all that shit, that it really helps me. Okay, and also subscribe if you're new. But yes, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.